Okay, so you both see my program on the screen. And now I'm highlighting the SQL equals, etc. Do you both have that?
Yes.
All right. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that line that says command right here, and I'm going to uncomment that one. So that's my line 91. Again, yours might be different by a line or so. All right, then I'm going to jump down to the execute reader, and where it's got the data reader, I'm going to uncomment that one. All right. And after that, I'm going to jump down into the while loop, and I'm going to uncomment the entire while loop. There we go. All right. I want you to take a good look at what we just did and make sure that your command line looks like mine, your data reader line looks like mine, and that your while loop looks like mine. All right. And just so you know, how are we doing this? I think we went over it yesterday, but I want to say it again anyway. This says grab 0, which is the first name, and a space, then the last name, new line. Then grab the address, new line. Then grab the city, comma, space, state, space, zip code, new line. The first 3 digits that are in the area code, dash, and then the telephone number. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then the only other thing that we should have to do is to come down here where we're closing the connection and just uncomment that. Double check and make sure that everything else that you have in here looks the way that mine looks. And then once you're okay with that, do a file, save all, and then let's try to run it. See if we get any errors. Click customers. Whoa, that's ugly. But I see, at least on my screen, all 32 customers. Hopefully you do as well.
Mr. Scott, I'm getting errors on the command equals new SQL command and on the data reader line. Yeah, that one and that one.
Okay, do you have at the top of your program, do you have this using statement in there? And if you don't, please add it.
Okay, I have that.
All right. Are you sure that your connection string was set up correctly? And if that's the case, make sure that the con and the command, both of those are uncommented. Make sure the data reader is uncommented. Make sure that the SQL here line is uncommented and the output line is. All right. Now, if you've done all that and you're still getting an error, let's just run through the rest. Make sure that's uncommented, and that is. Make sure your SQL line is set up correctly. And if you've done all that, you're still getting errors here and here. I'm not sure why you would be getting those, but, all right, but again, when we get done, feel free to send me, take a screenshot of what you've got and send it to me. The only other thing I want to add, okay, is if you look right here, I'm going to come in here, and after I do my last one, I'm going to add 2 line breaks. I wish I'd done that yesterday, but I didn't. So I'm adding 2 line breaks. This is giving me an error in purple because the program's still running. As soon as I stop the run, they go away. But notice now when I do another file save all, and I run it again, and I click customers, now it's a little easier to read. See that? Now, it's pretty ugly, but you can see that I'm getting the customer's first name, space, last name, address on a line by itself, city, comma, space, state, space, zip code, area code, hyphen, and then the phone number. All right. Keegan, were you able to run yours?
Yeah, and I clicked the button and it gave me like a pop-up saying like it has all this stuff, like just says invalid column name, customer ID, invalid column name, customer first name.
Well, I guess it sounds as if you're both having problems here. All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to go on because I want you to have this code, even if you're getting errors. All right. But I'm going to go on and we're going to do the next one. And then what I will do when we get all done today, as I have done before, what I will do is I will take this. Mine is now, it's around, geez, it's 350 or 400 lines. So mine is 355 lines. But I promise you, at the end of the day, I'll grab all of this. I will throw it into a text file and I will send it to you. All right. But, and again, I'm not trying to put you off because we can do that if you want. I mean, you can both come in and just email me what you have and I might be able to figure out right away and I may not. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why, I mean, I just would rather have us go on. Believe me, we will not go on to the second part of this until both of yours work completely. All right. So yeah, take screenshots of what you have, Keegan. Take screenshots of what you have, Angie, and just for right now, just throw them into Paint or something like that. Then when we take our next break, send them to me immediately. I'll take a look at them, see if I can figure anything out. Is that fair enough for right now? So we can go on?
Yeah.
All right. So with that said, then jump down to the next one. So now we've got orders. All right. We're going to be able to do the same kind of thing now. Under the try for orders. First of all, make sure you've got this line in here. Output equals double quote, to clear that output variable. If you don't have that, you're going to, it's going to grab what we just did or what I just did. It would have all my customers, then the orders underneath it. All right. Then go down to the try. Comment out your con statement. Comment out your open statement. All right. This one I'm going to have to take a look at. Well, when I went back and looked at my schema, the schema for orders, there's 4 fields: order ID, order date, order ship date, and customer ID. Did you both hear that? There are just those 4 fields. What does that mean? It means that our query is a lot smaller. So I'm going to undo this query, and it's going to say order date, order ship date, customer ID from orders. Now, if I do this, it's going to print out in one message box 907 orders. I don't want that. Let's just print out the first 10 so we can look at it. So I'm going to put in here limit 10. Can you both see this query that is now in blue?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you've got that query put in on yours. Again, if you got an error on the first one, you're probably going to get errors on all of them. And like I said, we'll work through it. We'll get it fixed. I'm really and truly not worried about it. I just went in during the break and was talking to my wife, and I said, this so far has gone better than it did in the classroom last year. All right. So once you've got that, I'm not going to remove it, but once you've got that, then take your command line again and uncomment that one. Then go to your data reader and uncomment that one. All right. Are you both caught up?
Yeah.
All right. Then go down to the while loop and again, uncomment the while loop, which as you can see is much smaller. Notice here, I put headings, order date, space, ship date, space, customer ID. All right. And I'm going to put, I don't know why I've got a plus sign there, but I'm going to put 2 \n here. So hopefully what this is going to have is the order date followed by a space, then the date, the ship date followed by a space, then the date, the customer ID followed by a space, then the date. Now, I'm going to tell you this, that last year when I did this, we only did these 2 tables, customers and orders. So once we get on from this and we go into order details and we go into categories and we go into products, I'm forging on into virgin territory, so to speak. All right. So the only other thing we should have to do is come down here to the con.close line and uncomment that. Then I'm going to save. I'm going to run mine again. And now I'm going to click on orders. And it says incorrect syntax near 0. Well, that isn't good. So we'll have to find that. All right. It's saying it doesn't like something that I put in here. Now, my guess is it's probably the limit statement. All right. So I'm going to remove that. This is going to be ugly as hell if it does work. Now, it looks like my machine is what it's doing, I think, is it's generating the message box with 975 lines in it. If you don't know this, when you do something with a computer that involves output, that takes up most of your time. Because what the computer does is it takes everything that you're about to work with and it puts it in a buffer. All right. And then it's got to take it and copy it from the buffer into the area it's actually working with. So this to me looks like it's almost like it's hung. So let's see. From orders, that should be correct. Let me try this. I'm going to try to grab this. All right. And I'm going to change my share here. And I'm going to go back to where we were working. Where is that? I guess it is in here. I'm going to come back into here. All right. I'm going to right mouse click on here and choose new query. Boy, I don't like the fact that I'm getting that. And I'm going to put in that query. Select order date, ship date, customer ID from orders, and I'm going to run it. Now this query is freezing up, and I don't know why it would do that, but I want to see if it comes back. I want to see if it gives me an error. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing on your screen. If you can't, it's no big deal. The point is I put in that query into our query window that we used before when we filled up the tables. And wow. it gave me no data back, nothing. Actually, it started up my program again, which is really weird. I've never seen that before. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to go to my orders table, and I'm going to show my table data. I've got order date, which is just fine. I've got order ship date, which looks just fine, and I've got customer ID. Thought that's what I just showed in that query. Order date, ship date, and customer ID. Wow, that's really weird because when I run the query itself, it isn't working. Let's see if I try this and put in here, limit 10. Incorrect syntax near 10. All right, that's the same problem that I got before. So I'm going to try to debug this. I realize you can't watch what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to type in SQL Server limit statement. According to this, what I'm saying is exactly correct. It should be on the end. Select this from this, limit. Wow. So can you see on my screen right now, can you see what I'm highlighting, this select statement?
Yes.
All right. It's giving me an error on the number 10 right here, which I'm trying to figure out why it would do that. See, it doesn't even seem to matter what number I put in there. I mean, I would normally write this query like this. All right. So let's see. No, it still doesn't like it. It's saying incorrect syntax near 5. But this, I grabbed an example from online which looks exactly like it. Let's say here SQL Server limit statement example. I've not had this happen before, so I mean, you probably don't care, but I find it interesting anyway. So let's see. Select. I'm going to try doing top, oops, select top 10 like that and not use the limit and see if this gives me any data. And it did. All right. So I'm going to change the query. I'm going to just grab this and well, I'm going to go back to the program. Right here. All right. Can you see my program on the screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to say, instead of that, this is going to say select top 10, order date, ship date, customer ID from orders. All right. So I have replaced the query with this. I'm going to run it in just a minute to make sure it still works. All right. But let's do a file, save all. and run this. And now I'm going to try to click my orders. And you can see there's my first 10 orders. Can you see that on the screen? Can you see the message box up there too?
Yes.
All right. So that worked. I was not aware of the fact, I thought that I'd used limit before. I know limit works in my SQL. They must want top here. All right. I've got a question for you. Think about this. Don't shout anything out. Look on the screen right here. What if I wanted the last 10 records? And let's assume they're in there based on order ID. So they're in order based on order ID. Then I'd have to keep this query, but at the end, I'd have to basically say order by. All right. So if we want to see the bottom orders, there's a top, but to my knowledge, there's not a bottom. All right. So we've got the first two done now. I'm jumping ahead then to the third one. Here's going to be order details. Again, make sure you've got the output equals double quote, come up to your try catch, grab the con statement and uncomment it, grab the con.open statement and uncomment it, go to here, the SQL statement. I'm again going to want to say select top 10 here. And I want to make sure I've got all the right things. So let me go back and check. I should have here order ID, product ID, order detail quoted price, order detail quantity ordered. So order ID, product ID, order detail quoted price, order detail quantity ordered from orders, from order details. Now I'll put that out there. So if you want to copy that query down, you can. Again, I'm going to send you everything, promise. All right, when we're all done with this. And it's 10:08. We'll finish this. We may have to take a break in here because I may run out of time on my Zoom session. But when we get done and everything works, I'm going to send it to you. And if you have no problems with that, I think we're going to end it for today. And that should give you somewhere around an hour to hopefully get yours up and working. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have this?
Yes.
I'll move that over then. That's the rest of it. But you two are doing in 2 days what took a week to do in the classroom. Now, probably part of it is I've done it once, so maybe I screwed it up the first time. I don't know. All right, do you have all that?
Yes.
All right. Keegan, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Then again, go down to this command line, uncomment that, uncomment the data reader, uncomment the entire while loop. Again, you'll notice I put headings in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So I put headings in there, order ID, product ID, quoted price, etc. I'm going to add onto the end of this again 2 \ns, just so we've got a little spacing in between there. So let me know, both of you, when you've got all that done. And the only other thing to do when we get done will be where it's got the closed database connection, my line 225 that you can't see on the screen. I'm going to uncomment it so it closes that. So you're noticing hopefully that we're having a bunch of open close database connections. And again, the way that I'm showing it to you is probably more the way that it would work in the quote real world unquote. So you'd connect to the database, you'd get your copy of it, you'd make your changes, you'd write them back, and you'd close your connection so the database would be available for others to use. You both have the while loop done?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to close this connection. And that should be it for this one. All right. So again, I'm going to do a file save all. And I'm going to run this again. All right. Some of this you've already seen. So customers, boom, I get my customers. Great. All right. So got to stop the run. I'm going to run it again. Orders, you saw the first 10 orders. That's okay. Order details, there's the new one. There's our first 10 order details. Categories we'll do next. There's only one field in there. That'll take literally about 2 or 3 minutes. So let's go down to categories here. Again, make sure you got that output line there. And it's not commented out. Go down to your try block. Comment out your con line. Comment out your open line. This is the whole query right here because there's just one field. Select category description from categories. We don't need a top 10. There's only 6 categories. All right. Uncomment out your command line. Uncomment out your data reader line. And uncomment out the while loop, which is very short because, again, there's only one field that we're printing out. All right. Then uncomment out your con.close line. Now I'm going to run it again, but I'm not going to, whoops, I gave me an error. I'm missing a semicolon right there. Oh, let's see, plus, I should not have that like that. All right, I think that was my error. Try it again. So now for categories. Oh, well, guess what? I must not have, let's see. Nope, I don't. Plus data reader plus \n/n. All right, so now hopefully it'll look a little nicer. So there's my categories. So the only thing that's left is to fix up products. Right now the button's not viable. There's nothing in there. Just prints out blank. So let's go and take a look at that. It's giving me my 10-minute warning. I think we can finish this though. Let me ask you this. I'm sorry you're both having these problems. That said, is what we're doing making sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because again, we're connecting to the database right there. We're opening up the physical connection right there. We're writing the equivalent of our SQL command right here. So product name, product description, et cetera, all that good stuff. And I didn't put a double quote there. Now there's 40 products, so that'll look pretty ugly. Let's put out half of them. So I'll say here, top 20. All right. I'm going to uncomment the command line. I'm going to uncomment the data reader. I'm going to uncomment the while loop. See, that's why if there's good news, it's that we wrote all this yesterday. All right. Now let's see. Oh, space. Oh, notice what I did here. I've got a plus sign at the end and at Oh no, let's see, what's the problem here? Plus cannot be applied to an object. All right, we'll fix this. Plus. Oh, I tried it. These, I'm not doing anything with these. This is those product descriptions. All right. So let's see. There's actually nothing in there. All right. It's just literally, it's null. I wonder if I go and, oh, I know what it is. I do know what it is. There's a plus sign here, and then there's a plus sign here. I don't need that. And I think that's all my errors. All right, so let's save that. Let's take our con close, S, and now let's see, well, I still do got an error. Wow. All right. Run it one more time. And there's my products. Well, that's even too big, as you can see. So I'm going to try to run it again. It's so big that there's an OK button here, but it doesn't show it. Since it doesn't show it, I have to stop the run to get this to stop. So instead of showing the top 20, I'll just try to show the top 10, see if that works. That's pretty ugly, but you can see it. I'm going to change it from 10 to 7. And when I'm done printing everything out at the very end, again, I'll put in here plus \n \n. No, it's got something in here it doesn't like. There. \n. Semicolon. All right. Run it one more time. And there's our first 7 products. All right. Hopefully what I've been able to do is to convince you we can now print out our customers. We can print out our orders. We can print out our order details. We can print out our categories. We can print out our products. And customers, since it's printing out all of them and it's basically it's too many, I'm going to cut that one down as well. And for customers, just going to print like the top 10. All right. So customers, good. Orders, good. Details, good. Categories, good. Products, good. We can exit. All right. I'm just about to get cut off because I'm almost out of my 40 minutes. I'm going to grab this whole thing, Control A, Control C. I'm going to go into Notepad++. You can't see it, but it's 354 lines. I'm going to save it as a text file. I'm going to send it to both of you, and I'm going to ask that you try to fix yours by tomorrow morning. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Don't worry. Well, I'll have you hand it in. Don't worry about that yet. I'm more worried that it works. All right. Then we're going to make some changes tomorrow. So we're going to add some stuff to it. We want the ability to insert, update, or delete into any of these 5 tables. So we'll pick it up there tomorrow. Kind of a mixed period, but as long as you guys get this to work, it's been a success. All right, so if you have any problems after you get this code, anything that doesn't work, please take screenshots of where you have the problems and send them to me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so you can drop off now, and I will talk to you at 8:05 tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.